You know how sometimes you use a word a million times, you think you know exactly what it means, and then you realize it's doing way more work than you ever gave it credit for? Well, today we're doing a deep dive into one of those words, STEM. You think you know it, but trust me, we're about to see how this one little word unlocks a whole world of meaning.
And exploring a word like STEM gets you thinking about a much bigger question. What actually makes a word essential? I mean, how does any word earn its place as a fundamental, must-have building block of a language? That's really the core idea we're going to unpack here. All right, let's put STEM under the microscope. At first glance, it's just a simple four-letter word. It seems so straightforward. But as you're about to see, this word does some serious heavy lifting for us when we communicate. So let's start where we all start, the basics. The very first way most of us learn to use STEM is as a noun. You know, a word for a physical thing, something you can actually see and touch. And here it is, the classic definition we all learned in school. A stem is that long, skinny part that connects all the different pieces of a plant. You picture a flower, that stalk holding up the bloom. Yep, that's the stem. It's a real, tangible object. And you hear it all the time in a simple sentence, right? Put the stems of the flowers in this cup of water. It's direct, it's crystal clear, and absolutely everyone knows what you're talking about. Okay, but this is where it starts to get pretty cool. We take that core idea of a plant stem and we start applying it to things we've made. Think about the skinny idea of a wine glass or the long part of a tobacco pipe. We call those stems too. See how the concept is already starting to stretch? Now let's switch gears and look at STEM as a verb. This is where the word's meaning really starts to branch out because it can describe two totally different kinds of actions. And the difference here is just fascinating. On one hand, to stem can mean to physically pull a stem off of something, like taking the stem off a cherry. But then on the other hand, it means for an idea or a situation to grow out of something else. We just jumped from a physical action to a completely abstract concept, all with the same word. Just look at these two examples side by side. To stem cherries is a simple thing you do in the kitchen, but saying the current crisis stems from politics, well, that uses the exact same plant-based idea of origin and growth to explain something incredibly complex. That's an amazing leap in meaning. So let's pause for a second. We have one little four-letter word that can describe part of a flower, part of a wine glass, the act of prepping fruit, and the cause of a global crisis. So what on earth makes this one simple word so incredibly powerful and special? Well, the answer, believe it or not, has something to do with this number, 850. Just let that sink in. What in the world could the number 850 have to do with the word STEM? That number, 850, represents something called the Basic English 850. It's a specially curated list of what are considered the most essential, the most functional, the most important words in the entire English language. Yeah, so this list was designed to be a simple but incredibly powerful toolkit for communication. The idea is, with just these 850 words, you can express almost any idea. And guess what? Our humble little word, STEM, is a member of this very exclusive club. And this brings us right back to our big question. What makes a word essential? And the answer is just its pure usefulness. Let's break down exactly why a word like STEM is so foundational. This is why STEM made the cut. It starts with something you can actually touch, a plant stem. Then it cleverly extends that visual idea to other objects. From there, it becomes a physical action. And finally, it makes that massive leap into the world of abstract ideas, describing cause and effect. That is an incredible amount of work for one single word to be doing. And really, that's the key takeaway here. Real power in a language isn't just about how many words you know. It's about truly mastering these super flexible, foundational words. A single, small word like STEM gives you the power to build a massive understanding of the world around you. So here's a thought to leave you with. The next time you use a simple, everyday word, just pause for a second. Ask yourself, what hidden work is this little word doing for me? What other tiny powerhouses are just hiding in plain sight in your vocabulary?